Hey guys, what is up? Hi, wow, what an eventful week this has been. Crazy, it's crazy. Sorry, I tried to do my makeup this morning because I love watching people do their makeup on TikTok, and I was like, I'm gonna do one today. There was this Joel Osteen quote I saw on Twitter, and I wanted to make it a sound, and I know Joel Osteen has a lot of controversy around him at times. I personally just like his Twitter feed when he talks the Lord's word and speaks it and like ciphers it and like relates it to modern day, like what's happening in the world now. And he had a really good one, and it was really just about, you know, when you think you're down, you're out, whatever, like you have a defender, you have God, and God will always be there for you. And not only will he stand up for you, but he'll also stoop down for you. That meaning, like, no matter how low you think you are, God like will stoop down to your level. He does, he will and does stoop down to your level, and he does it without judgment, but with mercy. And I thought it was just, it was like really something I needed. And a lot of times I'm not like a Bible reader. I don't go and just read the Bible. I never have been. Like, I always have Bibles, and I even buy like those interpretive ones and like journaling ones that seem to be like make more sense, but it's still like really hard for me to grasp it. Like, I always have to go Google Bible verses to like understand it. Like, I tried to do a series here like last year. I think a lot of people think I'm trolling when I talk about, like, you know, my belief in God. And so I really don't want it to ever come across that way. Even my interest in Judaism, like, I really do want to convert, and I guess in that sense, like, well, I don't know. Sam already starting this off bad. Forgive me. I'm on medications for the first time in like a year and a half. I got on medications this week, and I was meant to go on them this week anyways. Aside from me having like a breakdown like earlier this week, I literally got so triggered when I was at the recording studio earlier this week. And usually I record from like noon to like 6 o'clock in the evening, and I left really early because it just felt like the whole world was like caving in on me. Like, it just felt like everything was gonna go to shit. It was really, really, really scary, and I haven't had that point of like doom in so long, that like it's like an impending sense of doom that's like never gonna happen, and it's not reality, right? But I literally had to go straight there to my therapist, who already recommended to me a psychiatrist for taking my medication. And so I just went to him. I was just like, is there any chance that you're like around? And he lives really close to his office, so I was able to just go because I really needed someone to like put me back into reality. And he's the one person aside from my psychiatrist that like can like understand where my head is and just knows everything. I started seeing him in 2019. Wow. Okay. 2019, May 10th, 2019. I remember it so vividly, and like knows kind of like literally everything. And, like, yeah, it was really, really scary. I really, everything just started like coming up in my head, and like nothing seemed real. It seemed like in my head, I thought, you know, this is the psyche. I'll walk you through it, of like, Moses is gonna leave me, and you know, frenemies is gonna be taken away from me, and you know, my music video that's supposed to be in production is gonna collapse because nobody's gonna want to work with me. Like, it was like all that like impending sense of like doom, right? Oh my God, what's my family gonna think about me now? My family knows about like my recent diagnosis and being on medication, and just also because, you know, when I get into a state of like alternate reality where I start like, my mind consumes like basically an alternate reality, I start like just, I'll just say it, and I don't want to bring this up anymore, but in this, it's not just this one isolated instance. At any time that there's like a threat or someone tries to like blackmail me, I say it all, right? Or even just threatens me with like, I'm gonna expose information about this person. Like, I just start sharing everything, right? And I think that's been my whole journey here on YouTube, is sharing everything, like oversharing, as Dr. Drew has said on frenemies. Like, I overshare because of that impending sense that someone has something over my head, right? Like, I told my dad from around, like early on when I was like a hooker, like my dad came and found me. I told the story in 2007. He came and found me in my apartment, which was so weird because we hadn't talked, and like I was basically overdosed, and I basically had to tell him like, I've been walking the streets, Dad. And my dad's super like a conservative Catholic, all that stuff like that. Sorry, it's like already a lot. So I just overshare. I overshare to like the point of like, okay, here's everything. Like, I don't know what else there is. And then that reality hits, like, there is nothing else. So that's when I started saying, like, yes, I'm schizophrenic. Yes, I'm going on medication, because I've said for so long, like, medication doesn't work. I don't like medication. And then now I'm starting medication this week, and I'm like, that's my only secret. Let me share it. And then all of a sudden that snowballs into my family finding out, my dad finding out, like, people, you know, my fiance Moses, like, you know, people finding out, which in reality, they don't care. They've shown me time and time again that, like, I've done drugs, right? This is like something for my health, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I turned off my phone, so I wasn't even getting, but I had gotten like texts from both Ethan and Ela and my family and stuff, just people just like, we love you. And so I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, you just, it just like, it becomes a lot. And again, there was an isolated incident this week. It's not the first time, but you know what I mean? Like, it was the first time where I'm like, all of a sudden this, like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm happy to address things online always. If someone has a problem with me or concerns with me, I will so address them. I will so apologize if I need to, like, you know, and I have, like, even this year I've done like maybe, I don't know, a handful of apologies of people that like need, like, not that they needed those apologies, but I needed to apologize to them. Like, I messed up. I was in the wrong on so many times where that person may not have closure, or maybe they didn't care, but I wanted to have closure. And so I'm always the first to, like, if there's a problem, I will address it, always. But if it's not in reality, I just can't. It's just not, it's just something, well, I don't think anybody can. How do you argue something that's not in reality? You just can't. And any normal brain person could not do that, but I know I'm getting into it. I know I don't want to, and I really am not. And I've been doing a pretty good job avoiding like this, and you know, it just, whatever, it moves on. I, in no way is this fakeness. I really do wish every single person well in mind, body, and soul, and love, and all of that, because like, I've been unwell the majority of my adult life, and the schizophrenia traits started like a year ago when I thought I was doing better. Like, I got on Xan, I was on this whole other thing. So I did do a lot of prescription drugs last year, like the start of quarantine, like when I first met Moses, and I attribute a lot of that to our rocky start. Obviously, I was the one taking them, and those were my actions, so I can't blame drugs. But as soon as I got off drugs and went back into therapy, like, life-changing, you know? But I was on so many drugs, so I thought, well, maybe that's where the voices are coming from. But I was off drugs for a while. I've been completely like clean. Like, I'm trying to think if I've had like a sip of alcohol. Maybe I've had like 2 sips of wine since we moved in here. Like, sometimes I'll have, but like, maybe, like, I don't know. I'm really, but as far as pills and stuff, like, completely sober since December. No Xanax, nothing, like, threw it out, don't want it. And definitely not like any hard liquor. And like I said, sometimes I'll have like a sip of champagne or a sip of wine, and like, that's it. But I think that's less than a handful of times. Like, maybe like Valentine's Day, I'll like toast and drink, and that's like a sip. So all that to say, I have been sober since December, but you know, there's still, I call them demon voices. A lot of people call them intrusive thoughts, but they're really not intrusive thoughts. Talking to my psychiatrist, it is like, they're intrusive thoughts, but they're also not. They're also just voices that I hear from time to time, which is like really, really, really scary, because they sound so clear, and sometimes it's not like I did have to block off my staircase earlier this year because I heard, like, we have a lot of balconies in this house, and I would hear like jump off the balcony, and it kind of stopped, right? Like, I kind of understood when it would like trigger those voices. And I don't want to share any triggers online really, because then, you know, people do use those against you. I know that sounds sick, but like, people will try and trigger you, I guess, which maybe I didn't even understand that until like a year and a half ago. And so it's, you know, it's a lot, so I don't want to share them, but like, I understood where the demon voices. But then I do hear voices, and I mentioned this before, of like, I don't know, like, there'll be a bunch of us, like my mom, my sister, and Moses, we're ready to go out to eat or something on Sunday. And I'll be like, no, the car's over there. And they're like, what? Like, I'll have a conversation with somebody it's not happening. Like, I'll think I'm having a conversation with my sister, but it's not. So that's like really scary. And that's why anything like, again, anything that's not in reality is like really dangerous for me if it's not actually in reality. And I don't have people around me that have my best interest to be like, no, as opposed to something. And luckily I can have, sorry, I'm like getting, it's really dry here. That's another thing. I have so much water because Moses, he's the real life water boy. And voices just started happening like really recently, which is weird because I'm in my 30s. I heard that when I was a kid, but not since then. So like, thankfully I have people around me that can help me, but like at the same time, like I'm not completely, my memory is gone. Do you know what I mean? Like I still know when things like, it's very, I don't know how to explain it, but I still know when things, so it's like, anyways, it's difficult, but yeah, I just need to be, that's why I'm really like also very particular and like who I'm around in life in general. I'm very, very particular my whole life just because I can't have false realities. And this is like, you know, this is something that, anyways, you get it. Speaking of water and also being dry, Moses gonna give me so many water cups down here. There's my, okay, my boobs in, okay. Water cup. This dress is from Forever 21. A lot of people have liked my rompers. This is a romper from Forever 21 and it's a size large, so it's like really stretchy, which I love. Ooh, ow. And I have an Adam Sandler blankets that I sleep with. Oh, I did watch Punch Drunk Love because if you guys watched Frenemies this week, I lost to Ethan. We were tied and the last question, tiebreaker, was an Adam Sandler question, and it was saying a plot of a movie. It was like, in this movie, he gets scammed by a phone sex operator. I'm like, I definitely haven't seen that Adam Sandler movie. And it was Punch Drunk Love. And I just remember seeing that cover in like video stores or like DVD selections thinking like, that looks awful. It was like him in a white wall with like a blue suit and him just like profile. And now I totally get it. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It's super like artsy. It's super that movie. I don't even know if artsy is the right word, but it's very like a deep movie. There's a lot of symbolism and stuff like that in it. And like the first time I watched it, which was Monday night after the podcast, I went home and watched it right away. I was really like, this is weird. But then the next morning I was like, that was really good. And it's a weird movie, but like so relatable, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird. I think I wasn't like expecting it. You know what I mean? So bizarre on so many levels, but really good. Recommend. I actually really liked it. I remember texting Ethan like, it was awful. And I'm like, I kind of liked it. I still like Jack and Jill right here, the best. But we also have Zohan and Just Go With It. Hot Chick Adam Sandler over here. Uncut Gems. Hubie. Anyways, okay. So it was really scary the past 24 hours. Let me explain. So I wanted to check in because I didn't want anyone to think like I did that video and honestly I need to take it down because it's like, it's just like, I was really on edge. Like there was like, I don't know if he was homeless, but someone who wanted to come fix my car door in that vlog and I like jumped. And it just like triggered me and like I just getting triggered after trigger after trigger just because like I was by myself, I'm alone. I'm like all of a sudden I just think everybody is attacking me. So this guy was trying to fix my dent, which was weird anyways. But I was like, no, thank you. I don't know. I think some people might have perceived that as weird. I needed some serious help. And so there's this other thing called cognitive group therapy. And I sat in on a like listen, I forget what the app is called, but there's something where you can like listen in rooms. I haven't actually participated in one or gone to one, but yeah, cognitive therapy. We had talked about it before in talk therapy. And it's basically like understanding like how you react or understanding how you perceive things and then changing how you react to things or something like that. It's something along those lines. So I need to like actually participate. I think that would give me, because I already do group therapy. I did stop for a little while, but like maybe only like a month or two. So I do participate in that. So it's just like a lot. It's just a lot, and I'm like in no way using this as like an excuse for anything, and I never have. And if people perceive me as like using mental illness as an excuse for anything, I'm so sorry. That is so not the case. I try and take accountability like when I need to. Like I know when I've like messed up, right? And for me, I talk about it more to like normalize it more, to normalize going to therapy and getting help and like acknowledging when you're, you know, not well, because if you don't acknowledge it, you're in denial, or you just don't want to be perceived, like that's dangerous to you, to other people, to the people around you, being online personality, to the people who follow me. Like I just don't want anyone, yeah, I'm just trying to normalize it more. I don't know. Because it is, you know, a lot of people have it. So I'm just trying to normalize it. Okay, I did make some notes because I'm oh my God. Okay, so that's my virus, sorry. I'm literally just a mess, but I haven't talked to you guys in so long, oh my God. So I did put out a tweet being like, hey, I'm also getting the vaccination, the second vaccine. So I don't want anyone to like worry from that video, because I did see some people like, I'm really worried about Trish. And like, I don't want to worry people at all. So I was just like, and I post every day. That's the only reason I post it. I post so much. So I knew I was going to be out for at least like a day from the vaccine, which I was right. I just mentioned, let's talk about this real quick too. Pronouns. I swear I'll get to what's been going on 24 hours. Pronouns. So I did a whole video how I am non-binary, and I'm still non-binary. And it kind of stemmed from Moses doing a TikTok saying, I hate all men, but when I love him, but when he loves me, he loves. And like it made me really emotional, because there's such a broad world of non-binary. I really delved into this. My therapist was like a gender specialist for like long before I talked to him about my gender identity issues. And also just like delving into the world of non-binary. And there's just like there's such an umbrella of non-binary, right? Like, and I'm not gonna go through all of this again because I keep talking about it, but you know, you can be gender fluid, you can be no gender. Your gender could switch even hour to hour. Like that's what's like really cool about non-binary, because as someone who I don't think I have an identity or a gender, that's like Trish, like 23/7 is that, but the other hour or whatever of the day it fluctuates. You know, there are times when I'm like, this is my identity, this is my gender. I don't expect like people to just know, to just change really quick to they, them. And I present really feminine, right? So I don't blame people when they call me she, her. It does not offend me. I like they, them. I love that the whole internet, this new, I said this before, like this new wave of people can really like understand and grasp it and get it. But there's still a whole wave of people who can't. And even myself, like it's hard for me to like explain it to people in my real life, like my family and just like people who've like known me. Like it's really hard for me to explain it. And you know, some people are really adamant that they can only go by they, them, and I understand that completely, because it triggers me sometimes when people call me she, her. It does trigger me, but it's something that I'm not so adamant about just yet, like correcting my family or correcting people who've known me for a while, or people who just don't keep up with me or whatever. I totally understand that. And I also just want to address, like, in no way am I saying non-binary for attention. I've struggled with gender my entire life. It's very, very personal to me when I'm being genderfied. Gentrification, isn't that like, I don't know if that's the right term, gendered. Some days it can be so triggering, the she, her, and not recently, but like maybe even like, I don't know. It's triggering for a lot of reasons, because the she, her has such a, and I didn't really realize this, but with my it's like going a lot. With what I went through in childhood, sorry, I'm like literally developing like a stutter now. In childhood, like the she, her was something that I wanted to escape more than anything. The she, her, bike shorts in gym class, swimsuits at swim time, the way my body developed, it was agony. It was agony to be her, to be she, to be a girl. Like it was, I hated it. I hated it as an adult when I would go out and escort. I would, this is like, oh my God, this is so personal for an update thing. I don't want to like say the whole story, but there were times that I was R-word that I didn't realize that was what was happening. I wanted it to stop. Like I said, like I was getting paid, but I hadn't accepted the money yet. And it was like 2 instances that I recently recalled. Like I don't even, like I blocked so much of this out. This is so heavy. I'm sorry. I don't know if I should share this whole thing right now, but it became painful and I wanted it to stop. And obviously they didn't stop, but I made it so clear. I was like crying, which I think the crying turned both of these people on. Like I think crying, it was really bad. It was really bad. It was like they enjoyed it more. It was bad. But I didn't think it was, right? Because I originally consented and I was getting paid and I did collect some money for it. So I really, you know, I always thought being R-word meant, when I, like as a kid, we were taught like you got like, I used to watch this show Walker, Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris, and being R-word meant like you got beaten up and you were almost dead. Or like in the movie Showgirls at the end, she was basically left dead after they whatever. And I thought that's what that meant, but obviously we all know now, well, hopefully we all know now, that's not what it means. Just if you say no and they continue, then you're that. So the first time it happened, I said, this is when I was on the streets really, I said that I was, I don't want to trigger anyone either, so trigger warning. I should be trigger warning for all of this actually. I said that I was trans, male to female, and it immediately stopped the guy. Like not immediately, but like after the second or third time it stopped him. Again, I don't want to trigger anyone, so I'm really, really sorry if that's the case. But at that point in time, I'm not gonna go into more detail about it. The second time something very similar happened. I even have videos like from way back when saying I have a 1-inch, you know, penis. And I don't know why in my head that's what I said, because obviously I was talking through, I don't know why that's what it came to, and in no way was I like, this is gonna make this guy stop, other than the fact that he was really like misogynistic and stuff, like the way he was talking, but that happened twice. And so at that moment, I think there was so much, I don't want to call it confusion, because to me it felt really clear that like I'm not in the right gender, you know what I mean? I don't know. And I was just thinking, every girl loves being a girl. And this is a different situation. I don't want to compare this to what I identify as now, because I don't want to say just because I didn't want to be a girl in that moment, I'm non-binary. But there's been so many instances where I'm just more comfortable. An early memory of childhood was when people, and I know I've talked about this in video before, so before anyone comes to me, it's just making the story up, about people calling me a man. Like they'd go, Trisha, the man paid us. I know I've shared the story before. I just wonder if somebody can find it in one of my vlogs, because I had lip hair, and that was the best time, because while they were bullying me, I guess, for being a man, like all the other physical harassment stuff stopped, as far as like girls would steal my underwear or my pants so I couldn't change after gym class, like really early on. And I wasn't like heavily bullied, I'm not saying that at all. You know, I was always kind of just like alone. But that like year of puberty, when like, it was after puberty actually, but like when I started getting like a mustache and stuff, like, and they called me a man, like I realized like that felt better to me. Like they left me alone. I was fine with that. I was happy with that bullying, I guess. There's just been a lot of things. I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, ugh. But for me, I don't like being labeled as anything. I don't like being looked at as anything. I like playing characters. And if that character is she, her, I love that. If it's a he, him, I love that too. But me as a person, I don't have a gender. I don't really identify as anything. Everything is fluid. My religion is fluid, my gender is fluid, my sexuality is fluid, everything is very fluid. I know I'm gonna sound like, oh, this is so long, sorry, I should probably do 2 parts. Let me just wrap this part up and we'll just go on to something else. But like, honestly, when I first met Moses, I really thought him and his idea of water and obsession with water was so dumb. I was like, you're weird. I didn't think it was dumb. Oh, I didn't think it was dumb. But then I went to like, okay, I love him, so I'm just gonna be like, you know what, I'm glad he has a passion, okay. Just something quirky or whatever about him. To now I'm like really, like, I really go along with his, the idea that we're all water, we're all just fluid beings. Doesn't that blow your mind? It blows my mind that I was like, wait, he's been saying we're all water, we're all fluid beings for so long. His name, when I met him on Instagram, was Clear Being. And he changed that because I guess it's something in like Scientology or whatever. But it was Clear Being when we first met. And that's literally me. I'm literally just fluid. And Moses like accepts it and understands everything, including my gender. So when he did that thing about when he loves me, I hate all men, and then I was just like, God, he gets it. He gets it so much. And I'm sure people think we're crazy, but his like basically ideas are, you know, we're born from water, and when we die, we're all absorbed by the earth, by water, right? The earth is made up of water, and we all kind of like evaporate, and like, I believe a soul goes to heaven. That's my belief, but I do feel like our actual body is all just, and that's really what we are, right? We're body and soul. So I think the soul goes somewhat, but I think our body is the fluidity, and I don't know. That's just I do kind of believe that we're all fluid. We're all meant to be. I think I'm just very fluid. I don't know. So again, thank you guys for, you know, if it's someone that doesn't like me and misgendering me, you know, it's fine. I get it. Like, if people don't, and if it's someone that does, like my whole family, it's fine. It's okay. I think I said that in my other video, that I don't mind she, her, especially my persona online. But just know when people use they, them, like it means, it really is really cool, and it means a lot. And I have said that in my last video about saying this one, like I know this will probably be like controversial, but I really probably will raise my kids as non-gender, or at least deciding their own gender. I don't want to label them as a little girl, a little boy. Like, I want them to figure out what they like. And I don't know, that's probably controversial. I'm getting like, I don't know. Sorry, I really don't. I'm not trying to trigger anyone. I'm really just trying to share. Past 24 hours, here we go. Okay, so the fires. Okay, so there was a huge fire. We moved out of LA County. We're like close to LA, but like out of LA. So we moved into these beautiful mountains. The views are gorgeous. We are behind us, like our whole house is basically like this amazing estate, right? It's this beautiful yard and pool, and everything is like the front of the house. The back of the house has this giant mountain, which we love for a number of reasons: security, privacy, all of that. That mountain caught on fire last night. Yikes. Yeah. And it happened so fast. We had our housekeepers here, and our housekeepers left, and like, there's a fire. And I was like, what? So we were supposed to host Moses's family over here, Ethan, Ela, and another family, and they were like on their way, and they wouldn't even be let in. It was like really crazy. It was all around that same time, and we're like, okay. And I was so sick. So the second vaccine we got on Wednesday at noon. I didn't start feeling it until the next morning. I was so sick. I slept literally like the whole day. I would be up for like an hour at a time, like really, really, really nauseous, just like flu, and I just wanted to sleep. Moses said he was fine, and then at night got a little bit of a headache, but we both took Tylenol. I just had a really, really bad, I guess, reaction to the vaccine. I feel 100% better today, so this has now been like 36 hours or 48 hours or something. But yeah, I feel much better today, but I was really, really sick. But you know, I was like trying to shower and whatever. And so I hadn't eaten all day either. When there's a fire and we're hearing the helicopters, there's like a car. Our neighbor like did our call box, like, you guys gotta evacuate. We hear this car going, evacuate, evacuate. So we're like, what does that even mean? Like, we never had a deal. Like, California obviously has fires. We never had to deal with it because we were always like in the valley, like in Studio City, like near Hollywood, you know, the Innerland. But we're in the we're surrounded by mountains and dead brush and all this stuff. And yeah, it was really, really scary. So we just evacuated and left. And like when we came back this morning, we saw red. Well, actually, when we left, I think we saw red. We saw red, which was a good sign. I guess Moses said the red means that they've contained it, like they were able to spray it or whatever, so it's containing it, won't go beyond that. But it spread so fast, like faster than cars yesterday. It was really, really scary. Yikes. I mean, obviously where we live, it's like a fire hazard zone, so you have to have really high fire insurance, and like all of our rooms have a lot of sprinklers. Like every single room in the house has like a ton of sprinklers because, and this house has been here for like 20 years, so obviously like nothing has happened yet, like knock on wood, but yeah, you have fire insurance, sprinklers, all that stuff. And obviously main thing is that people are safe and animals and stuff, and we were safe and evacuated, but that was like really scary. And yeah, the vaccine was, like I said, it was really, it was gnarly. I was not feeling good. Yeah. Anyways, that was that. All that I was trying to say for so long. Let me see what else I have to talk. Disneyland is reopening. I'm very excited. I guess California residents are open today. I'm very excited. I think they're all sold out, but if anyone has any Disneyland hookups, let me know. 6 million on TikTok. Oh my God. I feel like, see, if I don't go online for like a day, I'm like so out of it. I hit 6 million on TikTok. Thank you guys so much. It seems like so, I'm actually gonna go do like a dance right now and like celebration of it. Greatest Showman style. But yeah, I literally just hit 5 million like a month and a half ago. Like, thank you guys. Very cool. Oh, okay, let's talk about this too. My neck. You know what? I don't even know what side it is anymore. Maybe, I don't know. So like literally like, I don't know, November, December, maybe November of last year, maybe even October, November, people had said that they saw like a goiter on my neck or something, and I couldn't see it, but I guess people saw it, and I went and got it checked out pretty soon, like within 2 to 3 weeks of people telling me. And I got checked out, and I went to so many doctors. I actually sent Ethan all my like paperwork to show him that I went and actually was trying to do something about it. First doctor I went to was a thyroid doctor, just a random one I looked up in Van Nuys. I mean, even Christmas Eve, if you guys remember, I was telling a story of how I was coming out of a doctor's office, and like this guy underneath, like it was like a homeless guy grabbed my ankles. It was like really scary. That was coming out of a doctor's office on Christmas Eve. So like for the whole month of December, I was going to doctors. So the first one was the thyroid doctor. He was one I Googled in Van Nuys. And he's like, okay, I can refer you to this, and this. So he's like requesting tests. So I got a test. He requests blood tests, and I did like 27 blood tests, vials at Quest. It's like a blood testing center. So I had to go to there. I had to go to Quest. This is not the second doctor I go to, whatever, or like medical facility. I had to get 2 ultrasounds. One was abnormal, and so then I got another ultrasound. And yeah, there were some abnormalities, and let me see, I sent it to him in because I'll tell you guys, it was something with it was something D with a D. Yeah, I went to an imaging center, I went to Quest Diagnostics. D-dimer, my D-dimer was abnormal, so if any medical people out there, D-dimer, okay, well it says this whole thing, like honestly I don't even know, but so, okay, it's abnormal at the ultrasound, whatever. So now they're like, oh, so, and then those were so that's like one side of the test for my thyroid doctor. The other side was an EKG test because I had shortness of breath at the time. So I was going to a cardiologist. So now I'm going to those. So now from the ultrasound, thyroid doctor is like, okay, now you got to go to an ENT, which is ears, nose, and throat doctor. So then I go to the ears, nose, and throat doctor, and he was, the first one I went to 2. The first one wasn't that concerned because it was under, and this was under the actual like lump itself was under like 2 centimeters, so he wasn't concerned. He was like, once it hits 2, or it was right at 2 centimeters, he's like, it's not too concerned. If it's worsening or whatever, like then we do a biopsy. The second one I went to, I thought was a biopsy. I guess it's not a biopsy. They put like a camera down your throat or something, and I had a sore throat for a while, and they were not concerned about it either to go on and get a biopsy. So having said all that, again, I don't really, I can't give you my exact verbiage. You can if you go watch Frenemies this week. Not a plug to go watch Frenemies this past week. But Ethan said that he wasn't going to film the next Frenemies unless I went and got it biopsied or had a doctor's appointment scheduled. And I kind of was just like, I don't even, like I said, I don't know what I said because at that moment, it was something so uncomfortable for me to talk because it was so stressful for me in December. Because December, that happened the day the Christmas Eve thing happened where I was getting my blood work, or yeah, it was my blood, or no, I think I was going to the thyroid doctor to tell me to go to an ears. So this is this whole thing because the ears and throat doctor was January. was the same day I had to drive my mom down to a hospital because she had really horrible COVID symptoms where she was like collapsed on the floor. This was Christmas Eve. So this was just I had just done that and I was about to go get food and my mom is called 911 and they can't do anything and then I have to take her and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get COVID. And I just wanted my mom to be okay. Honestly, I didn't care. I doubled mask and everything, but it was crazy. So it was just very stressful. So as soon as that got brought up, it just started like, I don't want to use the word triggering at all. It's not, but I guess I maybe disassociated a little bit, which is why I can't remember what I said, like a little blackout as I call it. And I was just like, just trying to end the conversation because it was just something that was, again, not blaming Ethan or anybody, but I just see comments after comments like, get your throat checked, you have to do it. She can get Botox and lip injections, but not her biopsy. And then, you know, he had followed up a bunch. And of course, it's out of like love and like I appreciate someone. But then now my mom and sister watch Frenemies and then they're telling me like, you have to go get a look because they pushed so hard for me to go. And I was like, honestly, like if I made it seem like I needed to get it and I'm just refusing to get it, like I apologize. Like maybe that's how I'm making it seem to people. It's not that I'm putting it off. It's like I do have to go for a follow-up in 6 months, which from January, my ears, nose, and throat doctor, 6 months would be July. So it's just something that's constantly on my mind that I have to do a follow-up, but like I don't even feel it anymore. 2 ENT doctors were not concerned about it. One put something down my throat. The other one just like examined all my information. So it's just like a lot. It's just really personal. And again, I really like appreciate, of course, everyone's concern for it. And I really want people to know that like I'd be the first again to go and like get it and like talk about it. Because I think I did. I think every time I went to an ultrasound, or you can look up my Vlogmas, but I'm pretty sure I talked about it. And if there was ever any abnormality or something serious, I would 100% tell you guys. Like that's like, that would be such a huge change in my life. And like, it's something I'd want to know. I'm a very firm believer in like catching stuff early. My mom had breast cancer 5 years ago. And like, she let me vlog that experience and stuff like that because I want to bring awareness to people catching stuff early and getting taken care of rather than putting it off. My dad is someone who like never goes to the doctor or the hospital, and he pees a lot, right? He's always, sorry dad, I don't mean to put you on blast, but he has to, you know, he pees a lot, and I always worry about him, like, dad, go to the doctor, and he just like does not want to go to a doctor, and I'm just not that person. So I don't want people to think I'm being like, I'm not taking care of myself. Like the chest pains have gone away. Oh, that's the other thing. So I had an abnormal EKG test come back. And I don't want to get into that either, but there was, and that's another big reason I kind of toned down the fast food. I know you see us eat like Arby's once in a while, but I was eating fast food every single day, and now I'm not so much. Like obviously my skin looks crazy today, I know, but like my skin has cleared up a lot because of that, because this is like diet acne and I don't have that really anymore. But even like pizzas, like I used to eat pizzas like 3 times a week. Like that really is like a rare occasion we eat pizza. I cook a lot at home now because of the sodium and stuff that when you eat out. So I really had to take up cooking. And yes, I don't eat like super healthy. Like we'll make fried chicken at home, but I really watched my salt. I mean, if I'm cooking something for YouTube, like a Babish recipe or something that requires salt, like I'll put it in but like if I cook butter noodles on my own, like I really don't use salt. So anyways, I had a really abnormal EKG. It was really, really bad. I don't really want to get into it, but it like, basically I have to eat oatmeal to erase all the clogged. I mean, that's not really what they said, but they're like, if you eat oatmeal, like basically now I've like, it's not clogged. I don't want to get anyone nervous. That's what I'm saying. I hate talking about it because it's really something that I have under control and it's not very major, and I definitely don't want anyone to like worry about me. And then also on top of that, like let's say it is something major and I tell people if I have like a hamburger or something, right? Some people, like keto people, if I just had the patty of a burger, like, oh, you're so good, that's keto, it's lean, you're losing weight. But then some people be like, that's gonna clog your arteries. And other people like, no, if it's organic, it's helping you. You hear, everyone has these opinions and you hear all these voices, and it's just a lot because I'm already stressing about my own health, so then to have other people stress about it. So the neck thing, I have an appointment, and he's literally right down the street, so it's not to like go get a follow-up to see like the ultrasound to see if it's like down and the centimeters, all that stuff like that. It's just something that's been weighing so heavy on me. So once I heard and then my mom and sister too have been like bringing it up, and then I have to hear it now and this, and then all the comments, I was just like, it just was a lot because it's just, I don't need to go. And it's like, so it's, if I had to, and people told me like, hey, I would get this, I would 100%. I went and got 4 different lab tests done, and I had to go run on a treadmill for an EKG, and like I was going all over the place. And at Christmas time around my music videos, like it was just like not really the desirable time to do it, but it's already weighing in my mind, I have to go get this like checkup, and it's, you know, because that's whatever, and then maybe I would have to do a biopsy, and like I'm not mad about it, and I would do it, and honestly, like I said, even for the content alone, but I just don't want to waste like time and like resources and doctors, because it's just not necessary according to anybody. Like I could just, I guess, go do it, but it's just not necessary right now, and I'm already doing so many other things for, you know, my heart and my arteries and stuff like that, so it's just like a lot. I really don't like talking about it, because like I said, everyone, and of course everyone's on the internet is like, you know, the first thing they'll say is you need to lose weight, right? Thankfully I had doctors that was not their first inclination when I said I had shortness of breath or this. It wasn't like you need to lose weight, but obviously my cardiologist, you know, was giving me pointers, and I'm going to listen to cardiologist without saying you need to lose weight. It was more like this, and this is affecting it. There's a lot in this video. Oh my God. I'm just like, again, I appreciate everyone's love and support. And like, honestly, like, I get it. Like, people want me to be well. And like, I want myself to be well. I want to make that clear. Like, I know I say, and my family gets so triggered when I say this in front of me, because I think this last week I said, I don't care. I just maybe live to be 50 and I'm good. And then my sister started getting really emotional, because she was like, but what about me? And I was like, because I said, oh, well, I don't want to like live early if my parents are not here with me anymore. So 50 was like my limit, right? Because my parents are 30 years older than me. And my sister's like, what about me? And then I got emotional. And you know I say a lot of things sometimes that worries people, and I'm trying not to be that person. But as far as my health goes, like we spent $30,000 in a home gym that includes like 3 cardio machines and like this huge 4-in-1 weight machine. Because like I really do take my health like seriously. I do have a food addiction. I have a problem with food and the way I eat and how I associate eating. So it's not like I don't care about my health, and I don't care if I live or die. Like I actually really do. And the idea of like dying early, because I know I make jokes of it, because like it's scary. Death is scary to me. So I make jokes of it. And maybe I shouldn't, but that's just how I cope with it. So, wow, it's like so dry in here, sorry. But I really am happy in life right now, and I'm always like scared once I'm happy in life, something comes along and like just knocks me on my chin, right? You know, so I'm always just like, no, everything's good, everything's fine. But I'm no spring chicken. I'm gonna be 33 next week. Oh, which May is tomorrow, so May baby's where you at is gonna be mine. Thank you guys for your concern. Like, I don't know, it just is not really necessary, and I like listen to my doctors right now. I swear, and I would be the first to be like, don't I love getting like applauded for doing something good, right? Like I would, and like part of me is like, maybe I should just go get it, and then everyone's gonna be like, thank you, but then it's like, no, but they're not even referring me doctors. Like every doctor I've been to is like, here, go to this doctor, go to this doctor, go to this doctor. You know, people always refer me when I need to do the next step. But no one's even referred me, so where do I even go to get a biopsy? I don't even know. So I guess I could Google it and go and get applauded for it. But just know, like, I don't need to be harped on for it, because like I do get myself checked up, and I'm sorry if it came across that I just didn't want to, or I was being a baby about it or something on the podcast this week. I really, not trying to be dramatic, but I really did kind of like disassociate. I'm like, how do I get all this conversation? I'm just like, let's go. So I don't know what I said. I might have said, I don't know. I don't know what I said, other than maybe I said I'm supposed to get it and I didn't. No, I'm not supposed to get it. So I don't know. Again, I didn't watch it back. Maybe I should. Okay, so there's that. I'm on new medication. So far so good. I don't really like to talk about that either, because my stance on medicine and being medicated for mental illness varies, because I've had really, really horrible experiences with it. Oh my God, sorry, let me throw it again. So I'm monitoring it really closely, and I'm on a really small dose. This is for, sorry, I didn't mean to do that motion, that was triggering me. This is for something, because borderline personality, I don't think there's really medication for, so this is for something else. But I am on medication, so if I'm acting different in any way, I really apologize. But I'm being closely monitored, just because I've had really, really bad side effects last time I've taken meds. So yeah, my birthday, Mother's Day. Why do I have this Happy Mother's Day? I don't know, that's like a thing. Okay. New merch, new music video. Oh yeah, so new Sad Boy merch is coming at the end of this month. May 24th, new music video from Sad Boy 2005. We actually shot these like 2 months ago, but the merch is being like literally every piece is like unique and hand made, meaning hand painted, hand stitched. There's little like beads on the hoodies, like everything's like hand done on these. They're so sick. Like the main thing is spray paint. Obviously, a lot of people have guessed the collab. I'm collabing with a really amazing designer out of New York. They are like iconic. I actually bought a piece from them last year, and they saw me wearing it and they reached out and they were like, oh well, let's make you a custom item, turn that into like, we're designing it the Sad Boy phase 2 with you. So it's really dope. I can't wait to announce. The video is super cool. We shot this whole merch video for it. It's not even merch, and I know I make fun of YouTubers for calling their merch streetwear, but this is streetwear. And yes, I bought everything out, so all the stock is bought. So this time when you buy it, it'll ship out right away within like a day. For people who bought Sad Boy Phase 1 merch, thank you, but that was a mess. Like I love the products we still wear them. We love the zip up and stuff. It's not that the products were awful. The quality was definitely not what I wanted. It was definitely merch quality. But we did sell out, and we were able to see like sizes and the demand for it and all that stuff. So thank you. And I'm really sorry. It took like a month. It was so embarrassing. They tried to blame it on COVID and then Christmas, and people didn't get their items till after Christmas, even though it went on sale December 1st. It will not happen again, because we did it with a company that was like made to print, and they were just shady. And I can say that now because they paid me out for it, but it was not good. So the whole design of the website will be different. I'm still working with the project manager. He's so great to help me with all this. But yeah, the new designers are amazing. The collab is sick. And this is like literally streetwear. And it's just all hand done, and it looks sick. It's been so hard for me not to like show it more. I mean, you guys have probably seen like some people posted like the models and stuff in our video, because we hired models for it. It was really, really fun. And then we shot the video for Dead and Gone, and that video is so sick. I saw the final edit and I was like, oh, so. But all that while working on the second album. Like the second album will be done like mid-May, but then like editing and all that stuff like that probably won't be out till mid-June. So, and I believe Frenemies merch is coming in June. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. And then I also have a product launch I'm really excited about. It's another collab with someone that I'm currently working with, and they are really respected and represented well in the field that we're doing. And I'm just so honored that she would even want to do a collaboration with me. So I have that coming out. It does have to do with skin. I know my skin looks like, you know, because of the makeup right now, but it does have to do with skin and how it's helped me. She's helped me like since I've talked about her products before. So the fact that we came out with like ones that kind of suit, it's crazy to say, but it really suits everybody's skin type. And I know that sounds like insane, but like my makeup artist introduced me to this person, and like what works on my makeup artist's skin like also works on mine. So watch out for that. That's coming soon. And other than that, I wanted to give a shout out also to Oscar Wilde. He did a, I guess Moses reached out to him, and because I wanted to do a remix to I Love You Moses like I did for I Love You Jesus, and I've been meaning to reach out to Oscar, but I've been so like, I don't even want to say busy, but I get really overwhelmed lately where I can't like look at my phone sometimes because I'm too overwhelmed. And I think that's partially my fault, because I'm like, I planned like this little birthday party. It's only like 20 under people, but then I'm like, now it's becoming like a thing. And then, you know, obviously my music videos, I have this launch for this new product. So we're doing videos for that, my new album, the merch, the wedding in Israel, vacations now that we're vaccinated, like all this stuff. I think I just took too much on myself. So I'm like sometimes a little overwhelmed because there's just so many questions for planning. So I'm like planning a wedding, a birthday, music videos, album release, shooting like 3 shows in June. It can be, I overwhelm myself. So, but I listened to it today and it was so dang good. It's on my computer, it's on my laptop downstairs, but it's so good. He put like he sampled Zohan, like disco, and just shout out Oscar. He's like a real one. He's so nice. And when we had, I guess we had like trauma bonded. I mean, I say that very loosely. Well, yes and no, over like a mutual friend that kind of pitted us against each other. And like me and Oscar had never even like met, like, but we used to talk like a lot. and then we got pitted against each other, and then like, I don't know, we kind of just stopped talking, but then like, I don't know, we kind of trauma bonded, and then he'd be like, this person said this about you, and I'm like, oh my god, this person said this about you. So we just realized and then now he's like so supportive of everything, and then he did this amazing I Love You Moses remix, so I'll have to put it on TikTok, or maybe go to his TikTok. It's Oscar Wilde. He's a real one. So I think that's everything. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Girls Next Door. Holly Madison just posted her Q&A. I love Holly so much. Oh gosh, we've been watching Girls Next Door. That's been my like unwind. It's really, that's another like going back to a time where I felt, that was when I first started like escaping, I feel. When I was like younger, going through trauma, I really didn't think of it as trauma. But then like once I started realizing like the effect it had on me, which was around the time I was 17, which is 2005. That's why my band is called 2005, because that's when I had to start escaping. So I would escape through My Chemical Romance and Girls Next Door. And I know those are two totally different things, but those were, again, it kind of showed you where I was at, like identity wise. Like I just wanted to be anything, and my being really just grabbed onto things randomly. So My Chemical Romance was like this really strong, there's a whole story behind that too, but like My Chemical Romance saved my life with 3 Cheers, because I was glorifying death in this way, but their music made it seem like peaceful, if that makes sense, or peaceful and chaotic. Like I didn't want to, but like I had to like hang in there, right? I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. And then Girls Next Door was just like, I guess it's kind of why I got into like, at the time it seemed like it seemed like the way out. It's like, I want to go to LA and do this. So Quentin Tarantino too had a huge part of me moving to LA. There was just a lot of, I don't know. 2005 was just like a lot. It was 2005 Kill Bill. Like one of those movies came out, and I just remember being like, I need to move to LA. I need to do this. It was my escaping for sure, 2005. I had changed like 4 schools in 1 year in 2005. It was crazy. 2005 was my year of escaping and just I was really, really isolated and numb from everything. Anyways, so December 2005 is like an escape for me. I don't know. Okay, I think I have to pee. I think that's why I'm being a little jumpy. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thanks for all the love and support. Let me just take another. Oh my god, it's really dry here. 1 drop of water. 1 more. Okay. Final note. Sorry, I'm gonna be, like I said, I know I've been so imperfect in the past. Like I know, and I don't even know what this video, hopefully this video, like, I'm not triggering anybody. Like I know I've been maybe not as sensitive as I should be to issues and stuff like that, but like the person I am now, 2021, like I really do realize that life is short. I have 0 energy for like negativity, and I have 100% empathy for every single person, like literally in this world, because this is so hard and so tough. I wouldn't wish loneliness, depression, heartbreak on anybody. Like I was alone for so much of my life, and like I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I wouldn't wish unhappiness or unwellness in anyone's life. Like I just go to the bathroom, take out this whole romper, but I thought the ending was weird, so I came back to it. Let me just end on this final note. I feel like this has been all over the place today. I'm an internet personality. I'm a public figure. I have a podcast where I talk about other internet personalities, public figures, whatever. I think as a public figure, you open yourself to being critiqued, judged, criticized. People aren't gonna always like what you put out. People aren't always gonna like what I put out. People have the right to their opinion. They have the right to like you, not like you. You know, I'm very open to it. People's criticisms, even if stuff from my past, people don't want to forgive me for, and they're like, I still hate church. Like that's totally fine. Or, you know, if people can, you know, people don't like me now, that's fine too. Or whatever the case is, like, you know, that's the internet. I believe in holding people accountable. I believe in also like defending yourself. And so I don't want anyone to think that like everyone just be nice, no drama. Like sometimes there needs to be conflict. Sometimes there needs to be drama. Like to call people out and hold people accountable, myself included. I don't think a lot of people, and I'm very thankful that people can like see it without me like having to tell people like, look how good I'm doing, or I've worked on myself. Like I'm glad that it shows to some capacity. But I don't think I would have ever sought help if it wasn't for videos or people telling me like online how bad I'm getting, or how, you know what I mean, or how I'm like spiraling or something like that. So, or how what I'm doing is wrong or hurtful, because sometimes I didn't know. Like, yes, I trolled for a while and obviously clearly knew, but like there was times even I stopped, because I really consider myself stopping trolling once like Donald Trump got the actual nomination for president. Because I think I said, I was like, I'm voting for Trump, and then he actually got the nomination, and I was like, this isn't a joke anymore. This was like the first year, right? Whatever year that was, I don't know, the first year he was announced that he was going to be a nominee. I really was like, I need to stop trolling. This is like not funny or fun or cute anymore. But then after that, I obviously made videos that were offensive with me not either like realizing it. And I'm not talking about trans and disassociating, because honestly, those were things that I actually had really issues with. I just didn't I didn't convey myself right. I still stand by. Those weren't meant to harm or offend. And if I can see how they did, and now that's why I'm so careful with my verbiage, and I'm like really thankful that people pointed that out, because I understood now like how it was offensive. Even if my intention wasn't for it to be offensive, like I understood how it was. And there's just other things where you don't really realize until other people point them out. And up until last year, that's what I'm saying, 2021 Trish is like a really different Trish, because up until last year, you know, the beginning of front of me was really rocky. Yes, I was abusing prescription drugs and stuff like that, but it was really rocky. I realized like I wasn't going to therapy at that time, at the beginning of frenemies, the way I needed to be. And so I kind of realized like I need therapy even when things are going good, because I was like, I wasn't recognizing triggers. I wasn't de-escalating. I wasn't like, you know what I mean? Yeah, people around you can know and help you, but like it's really up to you to like recognize and de-escalate if other people can't. Obviously, lifelong people in your life like Moses, now we understand, like we know where it's going and when to stop it. And I really don't get triggered at all anymore, thank God. And I think that's another big reason. But you know, I wasn't getting the proper help, you know, the proper, you know, seeing a psychiatrist and stuff like that. So it really took me like being embarrassed, and I'm still embarrassed by it on frenemies, like when I would have those outbursts. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And I think that's a time when people could blame mental illness. Like, she has borderline, that's what she does. And I really didn't like that it was portrayed as like an excuse. I mean, I'm glad people understood, but, and I'm so thankful that people did understand, especially people like Dr. Drew, like understood and like recognized this happening in other people and not just me, because it gave me a sense of comfort that like, oh, okay, like I need to do more work onto this and to myself. And not everyone's against me, and I have support, and you know, people want to see me be better. And yeah, it was really, really embarrassing. I still sometimes, I still feel embarrassed sometimes, like going in there, you know what I mean? Like they've been nothing but like love to me, like so much love. Like even Dan, who at the beginning like didn't like me, like so everyone is like really nice to me, and I almost like still feel guilt. And I talked about that in therapy too, where I almost like, it's not that I want to sabotage it, but I just don't feel like I should be welcomed as much as I should, you know? And I'm like working on it, but it was really embarrassing. And I think it took, I don't know if that's what it took, but being called out on this bad behavior like helped. And I got called out, but at the same time, I was understood by Dr. Drew and Ethan and you know, everyone understood. So where I come from sometime now, and it's not a holier than thou or fake way to approach it, is like I always want to come from an empathetic standpoint if I can, right? If I have a similar situation, or I know what this person's going through, I try to offer it as like, hey, I know what you're going through, maybe this is a better option. It's not a fake, it's not like I'm better than you. To me, once someone could help me understand, like they could show compassion for what I was going through. So sometimes I try and offer that advice, and maybe I shouldn't, like unsolicited, I guess, but if I recognize something someone's going through, I'll just be like, oh, like redirect that energy here. Because when that was my, you know, light bulb moment, someone's like, redirect that energy. So again, back to cognitive group therapy, CGT, like it's very like being cognizant of like, okay, how you are in the situation, how you're thinking about the situation, and then changing how you react to it. I'm not a therapist, I'm in therapy. I go to a lot of therapy 3 times a week now. So I'm just kind of, so I really want to see people do good. And when I do have any sort of personal not even like relationship, even if I've never met the person, but like I can see something they're going through that I went through. Like I was thankful people helped me and guided me, and yeah, and I'm still thankful. I'm still thankful, and I'm still learning. And yeah, that's my life updates. I'm sorry, I'm so all over the place, but I love you guys so much. And this was so long, so I hope you guys have a really great weekend. I hope you have a really great May. Oh, my back hurts. And I will see you guys in my next video.